Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, Christopher Inu, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Future Ready Summit 2026. Today, we have a special session as it will be a one-on-one conversation between myself and our speaker. Even though we don't have audience joining us live today, I hope everyone who will be watching this recording will still feel excited and ready to learn something new from our speaker. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jovita, and once again, it is my pleasure to accompany you throughout today's session. And it is my great honor to introduce our speaker, Christopher Inu, who will be sharing insights on education in the 21st century, local actions, global impact. Before we start, I would like to also introduce to our dear speaker. Christopher Anu has experience in leadership and youth development, and he was also recognized as a global leader for young children by the World Forum Foundation in 2026. With such a great achievement, we believe today's session will provide us with valuable perspective and practical insights that we can apply to our own academic and professional journeys. So, without any further ado, let's start the session. Christopher and you, the stage is yours.
Uh, Thank you very much, Jovita, for the opportunity. Future Ready Summit is a huge platform for young people to build their capacity for the work that is at hand. Platforms like this are very impactful, and I want to say a very big thank you to Andini for the opportunity. Now, getting straight to our theme for this particular day, education in the 21st century, um, local action, global impact. Now, this particular topic is very, very important in the age and time that we find ourselves. Education has gone through a lot of changes, particularly in the sub-Saharan Africa. Education in the olden days used to be one that is informal. Students tend to learn trade their parents also what do. For example, if I grow up in a house, in a community that most of the men are fishermen, it is almost 90% sure that I would also grow up to become what, a fisherman. Or if my dad was a fisherman, I would also become a fisherman. If my mother was a trader, I would also grow up to be a trader. A lot of changes has been seen with civilization, and currently education is at where it is now. And this has gone through certain stages that really need us as young people to make a very good use of it and make sure that we are impacting our generation and making sure that life becomes very easier and sustainable for all of us. I keep mentioning young people because we are not the future of tomorrow, but we are the future of today. We can't wait and sit on the fence and say that we are waiting to be given the opportunity as young people to be able to make a positive change. It starts now. We create our own future. We don't have to wait for that future. That's what we have to do. When it comes to education, it is one of the areas that are very, very key in this global dispensation. Now, let's look at what has changed in the educational background or things of the world. Education is no longer limited to textbooks and classrooms. At first, we are meant to believe that if only you sit in the classroom, if only you have books, it is there and there that you'll be able to get educated. But currently, that is not the narrative. No matter where you are, no matter your work pressure, no matter where you find yourself, you can still have the opportunity to get educated. Now there is technology in abundance, and technology has made things very easier for us to be able to access. And so it has changed that olden mindset. Education is only limited to the textbooks or only limited to the four walls of a classroom. The next thing I want to talk about is that technology has also transformed how learners access and share information. Note, there were libraries that you can only go there to access information that you were looking for, journals and other stuff. Now, with the invention of mobile phones, with the invention of tablets, iPads, and those stuff, you have internet on your mobile phone, handsets. Things have become very, very easy. You can easily, within the comfort of your mobile phone, do research and look for any other information you want that you think would aid in your learning. And it has made all this very, very easier for young people as well. Now, someone would ask, why local action? Why does this particular topic matter? It matters because root change often begins when problems students can see around them are solved and tackled by they themselves. That is the essence of education. We get education to build our capacities so that we can be able to tackle challenges in our environment, challenges in our communities. Now let's um immediate communities. A lot of communities might have problems of plastic pollution, poor sanitation, food security. These are all local challenges in our communities as young people. So education will serve as the laboratory that will make sure that we are being prepared to solve these challenges that I have made mention of. Because when you take an example like plastic pollution, where there's a community challenge, it only takes someone that has got the educational world to do as to how to be able to keep the community clean. It is he or she that can profess solution to a community challenge such as this. That is why I'm saying that education is the laboratory of which children are being prepared to solve community what problems. So all these things I've talked about, education plays a vital role in making sure that these changes that community faces are solved. And the next one has to do with the role of a modern day educator. Now, when we talk about education, we are not only making mention of students. It's a two-way. I deal with the teacher, it has to deal with the student. They have a role to play. They are playing their part gives us what effective teaching and learning process. It is in that same vein that in the 21st century, the teacher has moved from someone instructions to student to obey to someone who is a facilitator, to someone who is a role model, to someone who is a subject parent for the student, to someone who is a mentor, someone who is a community connector. So, particular age and time, the role of teachers have also increased. In like the olden days where we teachers to be just instructors, their role also is to include all these things to make sure that they are better placed in shaping the future of students and young people. Now, when we say from local actions to global impact, what do we mean? I say this because a lot of combined local actions put together is what will give us the global impact we are looking for. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And if you want to make the global impact we are all looking at, every young person has a role to play. And education is giving that platform to build our capacity to be in a better position to bring about that change. So we are looking at if 1,000 students from schools across the globe are able to take on challenges in their communities, one at a time, a lot of the sustainable development goals achieved. When I was speaking, I made mention of some environmental or community challenges like poor sanitation. If we are getting students who, by the means of are building their capacity to know how to keep the environment clean, to know how to recycle plastics, it is in a way going to help us to achieve what one of the SDGs, which are very, very important. So local actions, a lot of them continuously put together to give us the global impact we are looking for. It is what will give us is what will give us the global impact we're looking for. So it is not just an abstract thing. It is a thing that reminds us as young people that we have a role to play in shaping the world we want, in shaping the future we want. It is very, very important. So just as I am in Ghana, I have the opportunity to be able to contribute to change in my community. You in Indonesia also have the opportunity to contribute to change in your community. Someone in China, others in Canada, in Bahrain, or any of the globe, they're also playing their part. All put together is what to give us the global impact that we are looking for. That as young person, the time is ripe for us to be able to take center stage and be at the thick of affairs in all of this. Change doesn't begin in vacuum. It begins with someone who has deliberately purposed his or her mind to take a step. And that is what young people should be looking at. Now, for me to be able to make this all in meaning, what I would want to say is that education should not only prepare young people for the world, it should also empower them to improve the world they live in. That should be the essence of education. It shouldn't only prepare young people for the world or for the job market. It should also empower them, give them the skills, the technical know-how to be able to improve upon the world they came to meet. For me, that is key. It should be about impact, not just about fitting in. That is what education in the 21st century must seek to do. In Ghana, like this, I have always been a strong advocate against our curriculum or our teaching system that seems to place more emphasis on just being bookish or just reading in a book rather than being practical. I believe that that is the only difference between someone who really gets things done and someone who has the ideas but is kept in a book. We need young people who are practicalists. We need young people who are ready to get their hands dirty and make sure that they are changing their world. We need change makers. We don't need young people with ideas. We need young people who are ready to get their hands dirty. So that is what will be my pattern words. Thank you very much, Jovita.
Wow, thank you very much for your very inspiring session. You just opened my new perspective or of a new education. And we can conclude that education in 21st century is more about skills and impact, not only prepare for young people of what they want. So we need young people who are practicalists and also
Yes.
a change maker. I wish so many people will
Yeah.
inspire with your session. And also, your quote is very good, like education is not limited by class book and technology is made for us to access. That's what how people should see education like. That's very inspiring for you, inspiring session
Yes.
from you. And right after this, I think we would have a capture moment with certificate, but for I will share the screen first.
Okay.
Okay, is it? Can you see it?
Yes. This is beautiful. This
All
is
right.
very, very beautiful.
Whenever you're ready, I will count to three. 1, 2, 3. Smile. And once again, 1, 2, 3. Smile. All right. Thank you so much, Christopher Enyu, for your very inspiring session. I hope everyone who will watch this video will
Thank you.
inspire so much
Yes,
from
thank
your
you very much,
session.
Jovita.
And we have now reached the end of today's
Thank
session.
you very much, Jovita, for the.
Thank you very much. We were so pleased to having you here, and we hope everyone who watched these recordings will take at least one valuable insight from today's session. And it is such an honor to have you here. Thank you very much, Christopher Enyu. I would like to end this.
Thank you very
And
much.
thank you
Send
so
me
much, Christopher Enyu.
Randy.